Chateau Gloom, Berg Clear, Sunday, dear Lupin. I trust your stomach is more or less under control and that you're deriving a modicum of benefit from those expensive pills. It is cold and damp here, and both boilers have been behaving in a typically erratic manner. I did some baby watching for the Boehmers last night. The baby is 11 years old. And your mother departed for a beano at Inkpen. I think gin was in fairly abundant supply there, and it had the customary effect of making your mother behave like Queen Boadicea on her return home. There are now 3 deaf people in the house: Moppet, Pongo, and myself. It is sometimes fortunate that I'm unable to catch everything said to me. Your mother is still convinced that a poltergeist whipped away a sausage she was cooking. And I expect she will call in the Reverend Jardine for consultation. A lot of policemen descended on Mr. Luck's house yesterday, but I've been unable to ascertain why. I thought I had the cottage sold yesterday, but your mother interfered at the last moment, and now I'm somewhat doubtful. Your Aunt Barbara is going to Jerusalem for Christmas. That ought to precipitate a new war in the Middle East. Aunt Joan is going into hospital tomorrow. I imagine David Willett is having an exciting time in Persia. My godson, Richard Rome, married to a Persian, is there too. Newbury is full of people from the council estates in Thatcham doing their Christmas shopping. It would hardly be true to say that they add charm to the town. The tall woman with bandaged legs in the chemist's in the mall is going into semi-retirement. A sad loss, as she is easily the most reliable medical advisor in this area, particularly sound on skin blemishes and diarrhea. A man was killed on the road at Beacon Hill on Friday. Road conditions were disagreeable at the time. Mrs. Cameron stayed on Thursday night. She and your mother talked incessantly. Neither listened to a word the other said, which was sensible, as neither was saying anything worth listening to. I had a long letter from your great Aunt Phyllis, but could not read a word of it bar my own name and her signature. Your affectionate father, R.M. P.S. A long article on Dr. Phillips in the Newbury News. A man from Gowring's has brought Brigadier Lewis's house. The bearded man in the Newbury bookshop claims to have flogged 150 copies of my book, which would be good news if I happened to believe it, which I don't. The rather lanky young woman who worked in Jackson's in the afternoon has disappeared. I have kept a first copy of the Times for you. It might one day be valuable. Colonel Mad has vanished from Lambourne. Some say to jail, others to the loony bin. Nick Ghastly won a nice race last week. There was a large photograph of him in the Sporting Life. Mr. and Mrs. Cottrell are off to India for 2 months. Mrs. Randall is giving her relatives potatoes for Christmas. I have given up smoking.